everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me this week is Joe.
Hello, Governor.
Oh, man. And Jimmy.
I can't do it. I can't do a British accent.
Try.
I feel like I'm just going to say ahoy matey, and that's because that's what came to my head, but that's not a...
Think of, what's the guy from, like, Batman?
Val Kilmer.
Hey, Bane?
Do some Val Kilmer.
Bane,
No, the British butler. What's his
I
name?
was born
Alfred?
in the darkness.
Yeah, Alfred from...
You're talking about
Batman.
Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. No, I got nothing.
Maybe you should do something better, Bruce. I'm Michael Caine.
I will not bury every member of the Wayne family. Well, there's more like gravel in it. That was kind of like a Muppet version of Michael Caine.
I guess I thought you were talking about Christian Bale because, like, he is English, isn't he?
I
Or something?
guess so,
Christian Bale?
Or from the United Kingdom of some sort?
No way.
Do I have to look this up now?
I'm going to look it up because it ain't no way.
Why? Because you just heard him fake an American accent in so many movies?
Yeah.
'Cause that's
like
not possible?
Newsies?
Like everybody every movie ever? You think Hugh Jackman's American too, Jamie?
I know
Hugh
that
Jackman's
he's not.
he's a pretty convincing American,
He
I'd say.
is an English-American actor.
Yeah. Christian
What? No, Wikipedia. I'm not going to give you money.
Or think of
Let
Daphne.
me-
Just imitate Daphne.
Oh,
No.
hey, Dr. Crane, I'm psychic.
See?
Wow.
Perfect.
I did it.
Wow.
I see things, and I'm in love with Niles.
He's from Wales.
Christian Bale? Christian
Yeah.
Wales?
Yeah. Christian Wales.
Batman's from Gotham. Hey, but we're not doing those things. Today we're watching the British version of The Office. Some would say the original version.
Yeah, in England, do they just call it The
some would
Office?
say.
In the known in we call it here in
They
the States
definitely
the
do.
British version. There in the kingdom, of Britannia, I believe they call it The Office.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it fits.
I'm going to refer to it as the UK Office,
Okay, that's fair.
if you're keeping track at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they? Are you, listeners? I feel like, so you guys have seen this pilot, yeah?
I think so. I think I've seen like the first couple episodes, but it was a long time ago. And I've definitely seen. Actually, I don't think I've seen all of the American Office. Like I've definitely seen like pretty much all of seasons like 1 through 5 or 4, but then I think I took a break and then came back for the end.
Mm.
Oh, man.
And then you were like, wait,
Which
why is
end?
Will Ferrell in this?
Yeah, that end, the like post Steve Carell end. Because
I
that
think-
was a rough time.
Yeah, probably when Steve Carell left. That's in and around where I stopped watching,
Mm.
and then I came back for the end for like the last season or whatever.
Okay. So you saw like Andy and Aaron.
Yeah,
Because that was several seasons in, wasn't it?
yeah.
That was like more than 5 seasons in, wasn't it?
That's more than 5 maybe.
I mean, there's 7 seasons,
Oh.
or 9
I have no idea.
of the original.
Who's to say?
Of the
We're not watching
United
it.
States,
The American Office.
The American Office.
So, but
Yeah.
like, all of us have seen, a lot of the American Office, right?
I've seen
Not
all
of it.
I've seen all of it. Yeah.
I've
But-
definitely not seen all of it because I stopped watching when Steve Carell left.
Yeah. So like that's why we're not doing The Office. That's why we're doing the UK Office because that's one we've seen much less of.
I've definitely never seen more than 3 episodes of the UK Office,
Mm-hmm.
and I never have seen any episodes that were in the second series.
Mm-hmm.
They call them series over
Second
there, not
Oh,
seasons,
right.
because they're crazy across that pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, the original ran for 2 series, 6 episodes each,
Oh, that was right.
and then
6
series?
episodes each?
Series?
Wow. Okay.
6 episodes each, and then the Christmas special, which is the
Oh, fun.
official ending of it.
Okay.
Oh, the Christmas special is the ending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
You seen the
Spoiler.
Christmas
I
special?
already ruined it.
I have some predictions.
They go to
We haven't
Benihana's.
even watched number 1.
I mean, so everybody has a slightly different name.
Yeah, they must have more British sounding names, right?
Yeah.
So here's my thing, because I've heard
They're all named Govna.
Oh god. Oh wow. That's just a title, right?
No, that's a name.
Huh.
Seamus.
All right. Governor Dwight. Governor Jim and Pam. I've heard that the pilot of the British episode is word for word, or really I should say this backwards, that the American pilot is word for word the British pilot. But that can't be true because the names must be different, at least.
So yeah, it can't be word for word. Well, because like the guy that is like the British Dwight is not named Dwight.
Right.
He's named like Dwayne or something like that.
Nice.
That's like very not British sounding.
I don't know
Dwayne.
I don't know what their names are,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
similar.
the main guy's not named Michael Scott.
Yeah.
His name is
You mean Ricky Gervais?
David Brent.
All I know about the British Office is that I've seen Ricky Gervais when he cameoed on the American Office.
Right.
And then him and Steve Carell like hug because they like make each other laugh a lot.
Sure. I mean, that did happen.
It happened.
It did
I
happen.
saw it. I
That was
watched it
fun.
recently. It was on
I know it's Tim.
on repeat.
It's Tim instead of Jim.
Oh,
It's Dawn instead of Pam,
okay.
and it's Gareth instead of Dwight.
Gareth. Yeah, that's a good equal or better than name
Do you think they have
for Dwight.
Do you think they have a
Is his middle name still Fart?
whose middle name was Fart in The Office?
Well, his middle name was Kurt, but Jim, when Jim, they're making like the new Office like name badges, and he makes Dwight like a full 8.5 by 11 like laminated one, and his card is just in the middle of it. He's like, "This is enormous, and my middle name is Kurt, not Fart."
I mean, I like it. I'm into it.
You remember that?
No.
That episode?
I really don't.
Ah, it's great.
There was there was over 100 of those episodes. Why would I remember that exact scenario?
Clearly, you haven't seen The Office enough.
So I guess our main focus then is we've all seen the pilot or the first episode of the American Office.
Mhm.
So did we Americans, in traditional American sense, rip off something that did a good thing before us? Like democracy.
Do you think? Do you think there's other character analogs? Like, do you think there's a Stanley and a Phyllis?
Who's the old guy? I don't know why I can't.
Creed?
Creed.
Creed.
Yeah, I want there to be an English Creed.
Oh man.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet the other characters don't really line up other than like the main four.
I could see that.
So the main four for you are Dwight and Michael Scott and Jim and Pam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I hope there's a Kevin. Kevin's one of my faves.
I hope there's an Angela.
Ooh.
Just well, I mean, Dwight's got to have or Gareth has to have a love interest, right?
Does he?
Yes. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm like.
All right.
We
Not
didn't
right
even,
away,
yeah,
necessarily.
we didn't have it right away in the American Office either, so it's
Mm,
not really a good prediction. But
Yeah.
Oh, is there gonna
And only
be?
12
Is there gonna
episodes.
be a? What's the dude that was engaged to Pam at the beginning of the Office?
oh, Roy.
Is there gonna be a
Roy.
English Roy?
Yeah, I
man.
bet that's set up the
A-
exact same way.
A Troy, if you will.
Yeah, sure I will. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around now is how you gonna set up a Jim and Pam. That didn't happen till like season 3 or something. Like when it finally,
when they got together.
when
you
they
mean?
finally, yeah, it was. How are you gonna do that in 12 episodes?
They didn't get
Yeah,
together.
maybe they don't.
They didn't get together in season 3. They got
It
together.
was a
was
while.
The end
Because
of season
Dan-
3.
because,
yeah, starting the date.
Okay, yeah, because Jim was dating Rashida Jones.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. You think Rashida Jones is just in this show
That'd
for
be-
some reason?
yeah.
She's the American. You think Christian Bale is in this show?
I'm Batman.
And Michael Caine.
Christian Bale as Batman.
I'd be into it.
All right.
Potentially. I guess, I mean, I don't have a lot to say because I just want to now see if it's the same
Yeah.
or
I
if
mean,
we copied.
Do you remember what's in the pilot episode of The Office? I don't
No.
really.
I think
I'll
it's
know
like
Are
when
you
I see
introduced
it.
to the temp, right? You think is there a temp in the British office?
Ryan?
I bet there is.
Yeah.
There's a Brian.
His name
Because
is
I
Rain.
think that's what's the premise of at least the American pilot was that like it's the temp's first day and he's being shown around.
Yeah,
Ah.
because he makes. I feel like the Ricky Gervais character was extremely the same, like way too over the top. But I mean, going into maybe the last episode is I think Michael Scott in the American version like died down a little bit.
Sure.
You know, wasn't so like offensive.
Well, even from like season 1 to season 2, they kind of like
Right.
backed him off.
So I think he's gonna stay offensive, like
Yeah.
very bad. But so I think he just like walks around and like he like kind of like addresses the camera a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, and because it was one of those weird things. I wonder how when they get into how they're filming it, because they're obviously like knowledgeable that there's cameras around. It's like Parks and Rec never really acknowledged the fact that they
No.
talked to cameras
Yeah,
or like
no.
they were like it was filmed in that way, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but like in the first episode, do you remember, other than it's the temp's first day, do you remember anything of the plot of the American Office?
There's Jan is introduced. Jan visits the office because I
Okay.
think they talk about like
Layoffs?
layoffs and stuff like that.
Mm.
I think it's about layoffs like right away.
Okay.
So I think there's probably gonna be a British Jan. Flan is her name.
Flan?
Yep.
That's
I'm
Like
going
a
with-
dessert?
that's really all I remember
What's
from that first
flan?
episode. I don't remember anything else. There had to be something.
Temp comes. Jan's there. They talk about layoffs.
Jim and Pam
I feel
have
like
a little
I feel
chemistry.
I feel like Jim and Pam have chemistry, and then Roy kind of comes in, and then you're like, oh, never mind, that isn't a thing. Pam's engaged to Roy, or Troy when he's a Brit. I don't know what his name is. Everyone like listening is like, his name is.
People are gonna be so furious.
His name is Keith.
His name is Rupert.
Is there a Giles? That's a very British name.
Giles.
It's just the guy from Buffy.
The guy from Buffy's in it.
Yeah.
I'm a watcher.
I hope so. I
What-
like him
what,
a lot.
What?
All right.
I'll be honest. I'm just ready to watch. I just want to watch it.
I'm really excited, actually. I'm more let down now knowing that it's only 12 seasons. That's outrageous. That's like a Saturday.
2 seasons. You mean?
2. You
Two
said 12.
seasons.
12
Oh,
episodes.
I'd be
Alright,
so
12
mad.
episodes,
Oh man,
yeah.
I'm so mad that this is only 12 seasons.
You know what I said.
Speaking of 12 seasons, I'm a little mad because Supernatural is now on its 14th season, and I missed the first episode on like the WB's like website.
CW.
CW. It's all.
Oh, and now it's too far.
And that's too far gone, so now I can't watch.
I mean, you had 5 weeks.
I didn't realize
to
it was
realize.
already on.
The fall happened. You forgot.
I just, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I did kind of forget like what year, like where in the year I was, and then also like when I had watched the 13th
Because you don't
season.
watch normal TV, so you don't understand. Oh, it's fall. The new shows are on.
I was on like Netflix and I saw that the 13th season was on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, cool. Was that the one that I didn't watch? And then I like turned it on, and I was like, no, I've seen all of this, and now
Right.
it's November.
Right.
Like when I like try to do it, and now I must be missing this. And then I went to the CW's website, and they like season 2 episode 2 was on it,
Yeah.
and I was like, I have to wait till like next September.
Now you just need to like Google like when that episode's gonna repeat, like air, and then like actually like turn on your TV and find the CW.
I can't wait till the show's over because I really want to watch Supernatural with you guys. It's one of the best shows ever made.
14 seasons, it must be okay.
We'll let the first and last be the judge of that.
Yeah.
I bet it holds up. I'm just saying. All right. Enough Supernatural Watch 2018. Let's get to the pilot of The Office UK.
Let's do it.
Robots in disguise. What? You kind of said it like a.
I was trying to think of there's a It's Always Sunny thing where Danny DeVito is like doing some improv. And he keeps singing like do it, but like when they filmed it there wasn't actually music, there's just like they edit that in later. So then they like actually made a song that he was like supposed to be like singing to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's silly.
I do remember when he's dancing in the
Go
club
watch
being
it.
weird. All right, we'll see you guys after we watch The Office.
I'll look it up.
Cheerio.
All right, we are done watching the first episode of The Office UK, and I saw that episode before, and in America.
You saw it with less accents.
Yeah, pretty much zero accent the first time I saw it.
Just like a few of the jokes were slightly modified, but otherwise, same exact thing, right? For the pilot here.
I mean, at least every story beat was like pretty much the same.
Uh-huh.
Jan came. I'm just saying they're English. They're American, not they're English. I'm just saying. Yeah, her name was Jennifer.
Jennifer Clark something.
She came and told Brent,
Michael Duncan Clark,
that they were gonna have to pick one of two offices to downsize into the other one and like combine them. And then they got a temp. There
Ricky. Not Ryan.
And there was some Tim and Gareth shenanigans. He built a little wall.
He put Gareth's stapler in jelly, he called it.
Yeah, they
really
called Jello jelly.
They called the shit poop.
Excuse me?
Yep.
Billy Madison. I watched that not too long ago.
Now we're going to get an explicit note for that.
I mean, we've been explicit.
Was it worth it?
I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, well, let's lean into it. Poop, 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 poop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nailed
man. You're nasty.
You gotta. Speaking of nasty, you gotta read for us, Jim.
Oh, yeah. A documentary crew films the activities of the Slough branch of paper merchant Wernham Hogg. Slough, is that?
Yeah, it's SLOUGH, right?
Yeah. Do you remember them pronouncing it? Okay.
Slog.
Slough. The regional manager, David Brent, is a 39-year-old man.
We knew he was a man.
Oh, yeah. I guess they did talk about age, didn't they?
I made
he was
a.
talking about with Don.
I'll be honest. I assumed his gender.
Sure. He's arrogant. Who arrogantly thinks he's likable and entertaining. Among his employees are Don, his receptionist, Tim, sales rep, and Gareth, his sycophantic assistant. David's boss, Jennifer Taylor Clark, tells him that Wernham Hogg cannot run both a Slough and a Swindon branch.
Oh wait, so is
Slough?
her last name hyphened? Is it
Yeah.
Taylor hyphen Clark? So like Jan
Taylor Clark.
Levinson Gould or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Her name was hyphen.
They kept the hyphen.
They kept the hyphen.
That's fun. So they can't have both branches, and that the most efficient branch will incorporate the other one. David panics at the prospect of his branch being closed and his employees made redundant, but promises to keep it secret. Rumors spread around the office, and David hires a new forklift driver and shows new temp Ricky Howard around the office. Tim annoys Gareth by putting his stapler inside a jelly and later dropping it out of a window. After being confronted about redundancies, David holds a meeting and explains the situation. Employees are immediately worried for their jobs. David pretends Don is being fired for stealing Post-it notes, but his joke backfires when she starts crying and he awkwardly comes clean. And that's both pilots, maybe all pilots of The Office. We don't yet to know.
Be, yeah.
I mean, I know there's a bunch of different pilot offices. I am super interested in watching the Japanese office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, but just maybe drier, more awkward than the American office that I'm used to.
A lot more pauses.
Yeah.
I feel like the first season of American Office is still like pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just something about British humor that takes it to another level.
Yeah, I mean,
It's an acquired taste.
I would say American Office, like, I mean, it's Michael Scott is very like awkward and like you're like, ugh, this is crazy. But like Brent, Ricky Gervais,
David
Brent, he is like, he's painful.
Yeah. Like his facial expression is just like, oh man. Yeah.
Painful.
I definitely lulled at just his face while like awkward things were like being soaked in around him.
I also love that the temp Ricky is like super tall, so he like keeps like looking up at him. So he's like, he kind of looks like he's like a little boy trying to impress like an adult.
Yeah.
Because the temp guy's so much bigger than Ricky Gervais, which is kind of funny. We potentially saw maybe a Kevin lookalike, an Angela lookalike, maybe a Creed, or maybe that guy that we thought was Creed, like that old white guy that
His name's Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
He could have been a Stanley to me.
I thought he could have been an Oscar.
Yeah, I could see it. And then the Kevin guy, his name is Keith.
So that's definitely Kevin.
So the same. Yeah, those are only two randoms I looked up. Then you had Gareth, who's the Dwight, who, like we said, Mackenzie Crook. He's the dude from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, if you've seen those. He's got the glass eye.
He's not Johnny Depp or Orlando Bloom. So
He's got the glass eye that goes shooting across the...
He's like one of the pirates?
Which character is he?
That's like saying...
There's a couple, like... There's two, like...
No, I mean in the UK office.
Oh, he's Gareth.
Okay, the guy that plays Gareth.
I feel like that's saying like, oh yeah, he's in Power Rangers and he's like Bulk. Like, you know? He's
Actually, very similar to that. He's like the comic relief pirate. Him and the other guy.
Great.
Anyway, I just recognize him from that. And then Martin Freeman is Tim/Jim. And he's in lots of stuff now in the American world.
Yeah, Martin Freeman's
in the Avengers universe.
One or two things.
He's in Black Panther. He's the white guy. If you've seen that film.
I mean, he's...
if you haven't, you should. It's the best.
He's Watson in the Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch.
He's Watson. He's Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbit movies.
I feel like you don't even have to explain who Martin Freeman is. If you have to, then the person hasn't watched a movie in like 10 years.
The guy who played David Brent, he's in things.
It's
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, what is he in? I feel like I've only seen him as himself outside of this.
That's actually kind of true.
I mean, he's a comedian. You know, like he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. He was a writer of this show.
Right.
Like, I think he's listed as a writer and director on the IMDb.
He's a vegan and an atheist, if that matters to anybody.
He's a vegan?
Pretty sure he's a vegan.
I think all atheists are vegan.
He's at least a vegetarian.
All right. And then Dawn/Pam is Lucy Davis. And she's been in some stuff. She was in Wonder Woman. You're talking about? I feel like she was in like... I've seen her in more things.
She was definitely in some movie that I was just watching, and I was like, "Oh, that lady," and then that's all I got. Oh, she's in Sabrina, isn't she?
Oh, she's in the new Netflix like Scary Sabrina. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Hilda in Sabrina.
I haven't seen it yet.
Have you seen it, Joe?
No.
I would suggest everybody that likes Riverdale should definitely watch Sabrina, and if you haven't seen either one of those, stop listening to this podcast right now.
Go watch 14 seasons.
And go watch Sabrina and Riverdale.
Has anyone ever listened to this entire podcast? I feel like we usually tell them to turn it off and go do something else.
Yeah, right.
Well, I want them to come back, you know.
Yeah, pause it. Don't
come back.
Just turn it off. You hit pause like a normal.
Yeah. Oh, she's also in Shaun. She's also in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah. She's the girlfriend that he's trying to impress, right?
Yeah.
I love that movie, and it is nowhere streaming ever, like during Halloween. And I always look every October, and it's never anywhere. I would assume Netflix like always freaking has Hot Fuzz. I hate Hot Fuzz.
You know what? I wasn't a big
It's like
fan
the
of Hot Fuzz either.
crappiest of the Simon Pegg, whatever that other guy's name is, movies. I should really know his name. He's great. He doesn't get enough credit. Simon Pegg gets all the credit.
I mean, he's pretty great.
No, he's
You're talking
in
about
Star Trek.
You're talking about Nick Frost.
Nick Frost. Oh yeah, there it is. Have you seen Spaced? I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast.
I mean, you have for sure. You love Spaced.
Space is great.
I mean, I would say, maybe you guys would disagree with me or whatever, but I really honestly don't think there's a whole lot to say about this first episode if you've seen the American episode. It's just imagine the first episode of The American Office, but make it British. Or vice versa.
And like more low budge.
Well, yeah, but then that's just... But
Actually, I don't know. Maybe the pilot of The Office
I would say
is more
that,
low budget than I'm remembering.
I mean, I'd say it's lower budget than you probably think it is, but
Yeah.
it's definitely higher budget than this episode of the one we just saw.
How do you think it does? I mean, even though it's the same as the American, but how do you think it does as just like a pilot?
If it was a pilot, I mean, I would be like, I mean, they focus on the David Brent character the most. And I mean, I feel like they make him extremely unlikable. You know, I'd be like, oh, is this show about like a terrible boss? And then everyone just dealing with him? Because that's essentially, that would be what my guess would be. It would be like, this is a show of just like hostages at work.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with this.
And maybe it is, right?
And
yeah,
then,
I think it is.
yeah,
I think most people can identify with that. Their boss that's just terrible and is unaware of their terribleness.
And maybe in a way, I don't know. I think it's a little more. Maybe Jim is a little bit more lighthearted than Tim, because Tim, like Martin Freeman character, seems a little bit more like meaner to Gareth than like Jim to Dwight.
David Brent and Jim and not Jim, Tim. I mean, it all just seems a little bit meaner than the American Office.
Yeah,
it has a little bit less like heart and like.
British people are meaner.
Yeah.
They're more mean.
It is a little bit darker.
We're silly.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I feel of. Like that's what this pilot is conveying, at least.
So does that mean like you wouldn't be interested in watching a show like this because it's like, well, this is gonna be like miserable for
it's
2
hard
seasons or whatever?
It's hard. That's such a hard question to answer after having been. I mean, I'm the only one. I think in this.
It's not a hard question. I'm gonna totally watch this already.
So I think I'm the only one that has watched all of the America Office. I watched all of it. Like I didn't stop when Michael left. I watched all of it. And and for the most part, like, no, the episodes after Michael leaves are not very good. But like The Office as a whole is a good show. But it has like an American feel and this has a British feel. Where I do like a lot of British comedies. Like I love the IT Crowd and some other like British shows.
So you're just saying it's hard to judge?
It's hard for me to like say, would I like if this was fresh, you know, and I hadn't watched the whole American Office, would I watch it? Like, yeah, probably.
So what about within context? Now that you have seen an American Office, does your heart not have room for more Office, or does it have more room because you're like, I like The Office, I'll watch this?
I mean, but that's the thing is I think I've thought that sentiment a bunch of times. I thought I like The American Office. This is its like daddy.
Yeah.
I want to like watch it. Yeah. And then halfway through this pilot, which is only 30 minutes, because I like before we even recorded or before we went and watched it in the first part of the episode, I was like, oh, I've seen the first couple episodes of the show. We were halfway through that episode, and I was like, I haven't seen the end of this episode. Like I legitimately, I was like, oh, I've
not even made it through the first.
Every time I try to start the British Office, I like can't make it through the first episode.
Yeah,
and that's not because it's bad. It's just I don't know. It's just like something about me. I'm like, eh.
This is not quite the flavor you kind of want.
It's like I have an Office flavor, and it's slightly different, which is not good or bad. It just somehow loses my attention.
Yeah,
So I don't
it's
think I
like-
would watch this whole thing.
It's like if the first Saves the Day album you listen to is in Reverie, and you're like, yeah, this is what I want from Saves the Day.
Yeah, except for it should have been Stay What You Are, but whatever.
I think they got. Don't they have an album coming out?
Doesn't matter.
But it's just Chris Conley left. So,
Hmm.
which I mean,
Are there-
anyway,
are there other things that you can think of where like you prefer the remake to the original, like a movie or something, or
I'm sure,
yeah,
but I have to like think about it now,
Tom Welling's The Fog,
as opposed to like
the original from like
As-
the 40s
as
or whatever.
opposed to Stephen King's book.
No, there was a movie.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, like Avatar more than Dances with Wolves.
oh man, wait, were those both James Cameron?
No, but they're just very similar movies.
Sure.
One's with blue
Like
people.
they're both too long.
They're both similar, but one just has a lot of
One's
blue people.
blue and one's Native Americans. And
I see you.
oh my goodness, didn't James Cameron just say there's gonna be a bunch of Avatar?
Yeah, they announced like
sequels?
4 more Avatar movies
Good. Why?
that no one's
Good
asking
Lord,
for.
why?
I've
That
never,
no-
I've never seen the first Avatar.
I have not made it
Well,
all
there
the
you
way through.
I never saw it. I didn't see it. It was one of those. That was when like 3D movies were huge,
Yeah.
and I never saw it in theaters
Uh-huh.
because like life. I don't know why. Like I just didn't.
You didn't
And
have
then-
7 hours to kill.
And then it like came out, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna see this meant for giant screen 3D movie
Yeah.
like sitting in
Yeah.
my like apartment with my
Streaming
thumb on my
on-
butt. Like, what am I gonna? That's how I watch movies.
That's how you
I watch.
sit?
That's how I watch movies. No,
That
just movies.
sounds really uncomfortable.
I didn't say I was sitting.
Is your
He just has a cold
You-
thumb.
I think I did.
you
That way.
stand? I think.
Either way, thumbs in my butt. And I was like, I'm not interested in doing that with that. So
How do you do it? I mean, do you sit with your legs in stirrups?
I got a special seat.
I think if we had like
Call it
watched
my-
like several like
call it my
British
butt thumb
shows
seat.
around this,
Mm-hmm.
I would have like it's just such like an acquired taste. I feel like
Yeah.
that I'm not like haven't been into right now. So like things, I don't know, and maybe American comedies are just kind of slower. That I feel like even like that the dialogue is the same in this. They like blew past stuff quicker. Where like I felt like in the American version there'd be like more of a pause and like someone giving a glance to the camera and then you're like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Where
Or
this
cues to react to something.
Yeah, like oh that was a joke. Ha!
What a
Weird.
weird thing he said.
Instead it was just Ricky Gervais saying outrageous things and you just had no time to really react. That's my thought.
Interesting.
And I'm sticking to it.
So no fans here. No fans
Hey,
here at the UK office.
I
Well,
didn't say that. I thought.
find us on
never said that.
Stitcher at a.
That's not what I said.
Is this gonna be the first one we don't finish the podcast?
Like, yes, I've seen enough.
Hit spacebar, Josh.
Let's
We're
just
done.
let's just watch some American Office.
I feel like I feel
We
like I'm.
just watched the series finale of the American one or the Japan one.
I really want to. I don't know why, but I really want to see the Japan one. I really want to watch that.
Watch the Japan one with no subtitles and just see if you can like figure out if it's the same jokes.
Oh, this is where he's gonna
We
make
know all the
Pam
scenes
cry.
now.
He said "post-it note" in Japanese. I know he did.
The set of this was even like super similar to the American set,
Uh-huh.
like the way they had like Dwight and or whoever, Gareth and Tim's desks and stuff. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, they sat next to each other.
Anyway, predictions.
Well, we recommend this show. Go watch all the UK Office.
Yeah, it's only 12 episodes and 2 specials.
Well, yeah. So let's get to predictions, but before we do that, are like on the way. We do know that this last episode is like the Christmas special.
Yeah.
And so I can't help but think about the Office Christmas specials
Okay.
and try to see like.
Which are great. And this is good timing for that, too.
So I feel like my predictions have a lot of like a mixture of maybe new and old of what I think like the Office US took from the Office UK.
Sure.
So
I think I went a little bit that route.
So
unintentionally.
my first one.
I went exactly that route.
Okay, cool.
Intentionally.
All right. This is our first like unintentional like Christmas season pod.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, yeah,
like
it's
it.
coming on December. Tim smooches Dawn.
That didn't happen in The Office.
You idiot.
But yeah.
You fucking dummy.
Well, Jim smooched Pam. So.
Oh, Tim.
What?
Do you
Wait,
not
what?
know? Who do you think?
I was thinking Tim. I was thinking Dwight smooches
Oh.
Pam.
No.
And I was like, that didn't happen.
I was like, I thought you were just making fun of me because there's nobody named Tim in the U.S.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, technically that's also true.
You were in
Now who's the dummy?
You
I'm
are.
not sure.
You're dumb, Joe. I think the white elephant. I think there's going to be a white elephant gift exchange, and it goes
Okay.
awry.
Okay. Similar.
I'm gonna go cowboy hat. I think there's gonna be a cowboy hat.
Cool.
All right.
Worked in MASH. It's gonna work in this. And then I think
Octopus monster.
somebody is way too drunk.
Okay.
Mm.
Christmas episode.
Yep, Christmas party.
So these are all things that happen in Christmas American Office?
Meredith always gets too drunk. Michael gets mad about the white elephant gift. Jim and Pam eventually smooch. Not in a Christmas episode, but
Just in
I just figured
general.
maybe since this is the last episode of the
Right.
British Office, maybe they'll
They're
be
wrapping
smooching.
it up.
And I just want to see a cowboy hat.
Cool.
That has no correlation.
So yeah, so for my predicts, I picked specific moments from the American Office.
Really reaching for the points.
Yeah. So I said Ricky, who's the temp, becomes the boss of the office or whatever branch. Because what's his name? Ryan does that at the end of season 3 or 4 of the American Office.
Oh, yeah.
Tim asks Dawn out on a date at the end of this episode,
Okay.
which Jim does at the end of season 3. David declares bankruptcy. I don't remember exactly what episode that is.
Bankruptcy!
I don't remember what episode, but I remember that moment. So.
I remember when he yells that. That's funny.
And I said that Gareth works with Dawn to come up with a Christmas present.
Okay.
They don't smooch though.
I wish.
Oh, you don't think Gareth and Don smooch?
I wish Ricky, that's the temp's name. I wish he was like one of the writers of the show, the way that Ryan
The way that BJ
BJ
Novak.
Novak, yeah, is one of the writers of the American. Okay.
Can't have it all.
Oh man, and what's her name? Mindy?
Mindy Kaling.
There's not a Mindy.
Yeah.
There's not an Indian girl in this show currently.
I mean,
Well, I mean, like
It's
even,
British.
like Kelly Kapoor wasn't the same character from the first season of The Office to the second season.
right. Okay, number 1. I predict this show is canceled. Like I think that this last episode isn't like fully wrapping things up. Like I think it. Do you know that that's not true?
No, I'm just.
Okay.
It'll be weird to give points on that. I'm gonna give you
Okay.
0.25 right now.
Like, excellent, nice. This is going very well for me. Okay, number 2.
Wait, you give him points for the other ones he hasn't read yet already?
Number 2. I think Tim and Don also kiss, but I'm gonna say specifically under mistletoe.
Cool.
I hope there's no mistletoe in sight.
Damn it. I think number 3. David is Santa.
Okay.
Number 4. Gareth. Oh God, I can't. Oh, Gareth injures someone in this episode as part of a prank.
Okay. Solid predicts.
I could see all those happening.
Yeah.
I hope they all do.
Besides the mistletoe part of the
I already
kiss.
have 0.25.
Sweet. Hey, let's watch this last episode, huh?
Let's get it.
Let's get it on. And we're back. Finale.
Henry. Yeah.
Christmas episode part 2 done.
A very special episode of The Office UK.
The last one. Ever.
Special because it was the end.
December 27th, 2003.
When was the first part aired? Do we know?
26th.
Okay. So just after Christmas.
Yeah.
Finish Christmas, watch The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Got to write it for us. Jim?
Yeah. Okay, David looks for a woman to take to a party on the internet. The party isn't on the internet. This is terribly written. He looks on the internet to take a woman to a party, but none of his 3 dates go well. He ruins one meeting with talk of breasts. One date, not knowing who he is, mocks the manager from the office over the phone. Oh, I didn't notice that part. Did you guys hear that part? Apparently, he was talking to one of the dates over the phone, and it was someone.
That was it. He was in the car talking to a girl, and then he just said, "Oh, I gotta go. I'll call you back."
Yeah.
And then he just hung up on her.
So apparently, she was mocking him,
Well, we couldn't
and
hear
then
her.
she asked what his name was, and that's why he wouldn't say his name. Anyway, that makes more sense now. And then the last date he finds unattractive and boring. Don arrives and reunites with Tim and wind up Gareth, but Lee ruins their fun when he tells Gareth about their innuendos. David is banned from the office after he brings his dog, and non-employees are not allowed to attend their Christmas lunch or something.
This is not their write up is not in like the order in which things happened.
Yeah.
It's
right.
just like an order sort of character.
Yeah. A fourth date, whom David likes, arrives at the party. Don leaves with Lee after saying goodbye to Tim. David finally stands up to Chris Finch. Don returns and kisses Tim. She decided to leave Lee after Tim showed his sensitivity and interest in her illustrating dreams by buying her an art set with a card saying never give up. Everybody gathers for a group photo, and David finally makes them laugh with his Frank Spencer impression. Oh, I don't know who that is, but that's what he was doing at the end there. Doing
Cool.
An impression. Wonderful.
We also need to point out the like Christmas song that maybe every Brit knows, but none of us have ever heard.
Pretty much all those songs at the Christmas party. They were playing a bunch of like British tunes, and the only one I recognized was they played Wonderful Christmas Time.
Is it like a Wham song?
They also played like a Spice Girls song that I haven't heard in years. So
Nice.
I
that's
thought I heard a Spice song in there.
yeah. That's when I was like, oh, this must be like British pop tunes that we just don't know.
Apparently, there's an Office Revisited that aired in 2013 that had like a weird one-off thing.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up, but it seems that maybe only Ricky Gervais is in that.
So it's just him sitting in a room.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode was like David Brent was trying to find dates, and then he obviously doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah, I was
Like
gonna say
an
David
online
Brent,
David.
who doesn't work at the office anymore,
And
Gareth is the boss now.
yeah, the Dwight character's the boss now.
Mhm.
And then Don comes back. They were in America, is what
Yeah,
it sounded
and
like.
it seems like the big changes were that David doesn't work there anymore. Gareth is the boss, and Dawn has left for America with her fiance / maybe husband.
Fiance.
Fiance still?
Yeah, still fiance.
Okay. Whereas with Tim, nothing has changed.
Right.
He has the
Which-
same desk. He still hates his job.
Which is still very Jim.
Yeah.
They kept that going on for a long time in the regular office as well.
Mhm.
Like that Jim's not going anywhere thing.
Even when he did leave, he made his way back to Scranton.
Right, yeah. Good episode? Do you think it wrapped things up a little bit?
I wonder, what can you look up like the dates of like series 2?
Yeah.
Because I kind of got the impression that this Christmas special was like sometime after like the end of series 2. So it was like
Yeah.
It kind of wrapped up, and then they kind of went back to the show.
November 4th was the final episode of series 2, and then December 26th was part 1 of the Christmas.
So, but like of the same year still?
No.
Oh.
November 4th, 2002.
Oh, you're right. There was a
episode
whole
12.
year
It was an
between.
entire year.
Yeah, so a whole year. So I feel like...
So a lot maybe changed.
Uh-huh. And I wonder if it was planned that way that they were going to do like 2 series and then like a special later to kind of tie things up. Or did they tie things up at the end of series 2 and then add this on later?
Well, I'm looking at episode 6 of series 2, which would be the last episode of that second season. And that is the one where Tim takes drastic action when he learns that Dawn has resigned in order to move to the United States with her boyfriend Lee. He breaks up with Rachel, which must be the Rashida Jones character, potentially. And tells Dawn his true feelings. She hugs him but declines to break up with Lee. And then David is told that his services as a motivational speaker are also no longer required in the presence of the interviewer. He begs Neil to reconsider his dismissal. So I don't know, maybe David's not even working at the office already in that.
Yeah.
But that was that's the season finale of one of the episodes, is where like Jim tells Pam that he likes her.
Uh-huh.
But then this one, and then both of them, Pam's like, whatever. But one of them, she moves to America, and the other one, she stays living in her current country of America.
Yeah, I would say maybe the Jim, Pam, Don, Tim stuff is what's most consistent between the two, between the American and the British one. Whereas, like, I mean, David Brent's character is still similar to Michael Scott, but like him not working at the office anymore is quite the departure.
Right, because when Michael stopped working he had the Michael Scott Paper Company.
Uh-huh.
But that was only for maybe 6 episodes, and he was in it. He was still working in the same building.
Yeah, and he was in the same business still.
Yeah. So it like was the same, but not.
Yeah.
You know.
With this, it seems like they spent some time with him no longer being the boss. And he probably got fired, it seems like.
It doesn't seem like he ended amicably.
Yeah.
Right.
Seems like it was not his choice.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he like thinks he's a big star and wanted to, because of the documentary. It kind of sounds like the documentary came out in between.
Yeah, like it had already.
I don't know if it came out in season
aired.
2 or if it came out like in between the end of season 2 and this Christmas special a year later or whatever.
Yeah, because David made a reference to it in his like last date about how the documentary made him look weird.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be interesting because the documentary of The Office didn't come out till like the last season.
Yeah,
Because they were
kept
still
that
doing
to the
it.
A big part of.
Also, a big difference is you hear the people filming, like they ask them questions,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you don't get any of that. They don't even acknowledge the fact that there's people like filming them for like 6 or 7 seasons in the American Office.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
They don't do the like side like they're in a separate room.
Although they do.
Well, they do,
Oh.
but I'm saying the people don't acknowledge it.
Sure.
Like in this, like Ricky Gervais is like they're asking him a question and he's answering their question. You
Sure.
hear them and you hear him answer.
Sure.
In the American Office, they don't like.
They're just talking.
I
It's
mean,
not like
obviously they're
being
in like
interviewed.
obviously they're in the room and they like do their interview kind of
Right.
thing, but you never hear them like talk, sort of thing. So it's a little bit different. This is a little bit more. Oh yeah, what? Yeah, okay, I'll answer you right now. Differences. I thought this was a fun one. I liked it.
I liked it.
Do you think it works as a finale, or do you just kind of go like, wait, like
I would
this is
say
the end?
I feel like this is a mega payoff for people that were watching all of the UK Office, and then
Yeah.
they waited an entire year, and they like it because the UK. I mean that ended to them, fucking like damn, this is done, and
Yeah.
like
People are probably
Tim is just
screaming.
sad and alone, and like Dawn left,
And all of a sudden they're smooching, So that's basically like 3 years, basically, right? Waiting for them to smooch.
I mean, if from episode 1 you were like, I
Right.
can't wait for them to smooch.
Mm-hmm.
Totally gonna do it.
So yeah,
Yeah, so the Jim, Pam, Tim, Don thing pays off the most, and I guess for mostly the other characters, you're not really looking for any sort of finality or payoff. You're just like, these are funny people. Like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, is there any other like for the American one, is there any other real payoff for any of the other characters?
Dwight and Angela.
Does
Do
it
they
end
end
with
up-
their wedding? Is that the finale?
Yeah.
Huh.
They get married.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like,
That's right.
and aren't people like leaving the office or something? I feel like there's people giving speeches about like
Ryan, well, I mean, the end, like Ryan and Mindy's character, they leave, like in that beginning of the last season, I think.
but like the office isn't shutting down or something, or
no,
Okay.
they just like still work at the office.
But it's
Andy's in charge.
what is it? It's not Dunder Mifflin anymore. It's like that
Saber or something.
Saber. Yeah.
It's done. It's
They get,
Dunder
like,
Mifflin.
taken.
It's Dunder Mifflin Saber.
Oh.
They just merge.
Oh, okay. Well, good times. I liked it, but the whole like first like this was like 40 minutes.
I wonder if they merged because there was a different like name. You know, like there was like the Werner Ham. I don't know what
the Wolfgang Hogg. What is it?
Yeah, there was some like
Wernham
business
Hogg.
name, and we called it like the Slow Company or something like that.
That was just their branch. That's their.
Okay, so was there?
What's the town that?
Slow was the town.
Yeah, but I mean the American one.
Scranton.
Scranton.
Oh, okay. So
Slow is just the Scranton.
all right, never mind then. I'm wrong. I mean, I just didn't know what the name of the company was in this show until the end.
What were we saying about the first 40 minutes?
Oh, like the first 30 minutes of this was just kind of the same to me as the pilot. Like it's just okay. It's just like silly David being silly and Gareth
Yeah, it
being
just
a
kind of
douche.
felt like an episode.
Yeah,
There-
and
there
then the
weren't-
last 10 minutes was like, oh yeah.
It wasn't. There weren't like raised stakes or anything. I mean, it's kind of
Right.
silly to like raise the stakes for a comedy about a office, but like, yeah, it wasn't like
That's-
somebody's getting
when you say it
your
like
typical your typical finale tropes, like everybody's leaving or someone's getting married or
right.
the war is ending.
Yeah, you know, sitcom stuff.
The Stargate is closing.
We're stuck on the ship, but time stands still, and we age on the ship. And one guy has to stay back to save everybody so they can get back through time so that the ship doesn't shoot them and they explode. Watch our
talking
Stargate
about-
episode. Watch our Stargate episode.
You can find it wherever you find your podcast.
Yeah.
Wherever podcasts
I feel
are
like
available.
it'd be interesting to try more British stuff and see if they kind of end off this same way. Because I know they're big on keeping their shows short. I wonder if they're also big on like not making a big deal about finales. I haven't watched that many British shows. So.
I'm trying to remember.
You guys did the
I feel-
IT, didn't you?
Yeah, I feel like
IT
they
crowd.
don't have like payoff. Like they just don't. I don't think they're big on making sure that their shows end in like a happy, good fun time thing.
Uh-huh.
I think they just want you to know that the show is done, essentially.
Yeah.
But like the story is going to be the story, because in the IT crowd, oh God, what happened? Like, I mean, there was small people racism in that episode.
Yeah. There's its own adventure in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So it wasn't so big into like we have to like wrap up what was happening
uh-huh.
the whole time. It was pretty much its own episode. But then did they like take over the company or something like? Or
Something like that, where like they all got promoted or something.
yeah,
Like that.
there was something just like random, and it was just like so over the top that it like pretty much wasn't even believable. But at the same time, that whole show was pretty over the top
Sure.
in their own British way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great show.
I really do like that show.
You can listen to our IT episode.
We also have an IT crowd
IT
episode. Brought to you by burritos. No one else can see this, but Jimmy, you're wearing a dope Marvel shirt right now.
Thank you.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's the OGs.
Looks old.
It's the OG Marvel crew.
Cool.
Except for Namor. He was a bad guy. I don't know why he's on this shirt.
I see a Hulk.
I mean, you gotta have representation, right?
And it doesn't have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
They belong to Fox.
Cool.
Oh, wait, yeah. Scarlet Witch is right there.
Oh.
Where's No Quicksilver.
Oh well. This makes for good audio.
No Quicksilver.
All in all, I mean, I still always want to watch this whole show, but I fear that the American Office has ruined it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you guys all
Spoiled it for you.
I think this last 10 minutes of the show brought me back. Like, I've always wanted to watch the British Office, and I think knowing that it's only 12 episodes and I could just watch it tonight, and then in the morning I'll just be like, well, it's time to go to work now. And I had a great time. I think the last 10 minutes sold it for me that, like, there's going to be some cool, like, Tim Pam moments or whatever. Don Jim.
There you go. Got it. Nailed it.
Tim Pam.
I think the only thing that gets me, though, is that, like, I really love in the American Office the, like, Dwight and, like, just what's his name? Rainn Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Rainn Wilson
is so freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this guy's he's no Dwight.
He's very different. Yeah.
He's more of a.
He's probably the
goofball.
most different thing.
Because Dwight's kind of an evil genius. Like, he's a doof, but he's he's clever. This guy is just a doof, I feel like.
Yeah, Dwight is much more of a character.
Yeah.
There's much more color to him than what we get with Gareth. He's just kind of a dweeb.
I mean, Rainn Wilson could have stayed home that day and just not gone to an audition. We probably could have just got a doof too. I think we just lucked out.
I mean, I think Seth
maybe
Rogen was one of the people who had auditioned for Dwight.
Whoa.
There's like a few other like big names of like people that had auditioned for stuff for The Office.
That would have been a weird Dwight.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be cool to like.
Dwight.
So like, no one actually
can't do
wants.
Seth Rogen laugh.
Like, no one wants an Office, like an American Office reboot. But I always thought it'd be cool to like take the people who had auditioned for the roles for the American Office and like just do like an
Just
episode.
like do the pilot.
Yeah, or just like
the
pick
other
like a
people.
classic Office episode, like pick like The Client or something, and like do it with Seth Rogen as Dwight
That'd be weird.
and
John Hamm as Michael Scott.
exactly, or whoever else.
I'm gonna look it up.
Aubrey
I probably won't be able to find it. Aubrey
Aubrey
Plaza.
Plaza as Pam. We're just keep casting
she's just
her
like
in things.
super like turned off. Just like, I love Aubrey Plaza, but
Robert De Niro as Creed.
yeah, I like it.
Where does Cranston fit in this?
Oh,
Milk Me?
Cranston?
Yeah, what do you cast Cranston as?
Stanley. Nailed it.
Definitely the black guy.
Nailed it.
What was I looking up?
Think we could
Too late.
Think we could get Cranston to go blackspace for the one episode
Oh.
pilot.
Oh,
I feel like he could get away with it.
I'd give it to him, but it's not for me to give.
No, it is not.
Other thoughts?
I feel like you almost had a thing, didn't you? Or no?
I think Ricky Gervais was in an episode of Spaced, so
Or
stay tuned next week when we do Spaced.
we'll see. Space is, as I remember it being a good show, but I've definitely not seen all of it.
There were some killer episodes.
Jimmy's a space nut. Joe, do you know what that is?
No.
Have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
It's the same like director. It's like the same like quick edit, like shoo, 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 and then basically the same humor. just Simon Pegg and what's his name? Jack Frost.
Nick.
Nipping at your nose.
Yep, you're right. Correct.
Cool.
It's just them being them and the same like director guy.
All right.
It's great.
It's fine.
It is very. Here's a show that is very.
Can I read my predictions now?
Yeah. What you got?
Oh yeah.
Tim smooches Don.
Nice.
That happened. There's smooches.
I don't know. I think Don smooched Tim, but
Oh,
I don't know
go
if there's
fuck yourself,
Oh, she
Joe.
totally
smooching.
smooched him.
They smooched. It works. White elephant exchange goes awry.
Ooh.
I think it went.
Secret Santa.
Yeah,
I think-
they did Secret Santa.
I think it was Secret Santa, and I think it just went
And
just fine.
It
Yeah.
went great for Tim.
Yeah.
I think White Elephant's kind of more an American thing.
Cowboy hat. I didn't see a single cowboy hat.
No.
And then this one's debatable. Is somebody was way too drunk. There was a man lying on the couch with his hands and his face in his hands.
Yeah, like he
Joe
wasn't.
saw it.
He wasn't just sleeping. He had his hands in his face, like he
Not
had.
having a good time.
Yeah, like he had done something wrong.
No longer.
He had made there was mistakes that was made.
Yeah.
You could kind of debate too. Like there was a scene in the middle where Ricky Gervais is like drinking and smoking in a hotel room, and then
Oh yeah,
and then
he
there's
falls
like
asleep.
cuts, and then he's like drinking more and and ranting, and then it cuts again, and
To,
he's
like,
just asleep.
Yeah.
I'd give that to you, although it's not the party.
I
But there
didn't
was
say
a
it was
guy.
at the party.
You
But there was a
did.
guy at the party too, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself 2 points.
5 points. I had Ricky becomes the boss of the office. Who
Not in
Ricky,
this episode.
Yeah, Ricky the temp, not in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Tim asked Don out on a date at the end. They did get together, but there wasn't like a hey, let's go on a date type of thing.
He did not do any of that. Like, you
No.
know, there was
Yeah,
no.
he didn't like explain the feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, he like Love Actually'd her by in like the minus way, like the most minute way of like giving her like a thumbs up and like, hey, you know, chase your dreams.
Yeah.
Like this
They'll
implies
lead you right back here
this implies that I care for you, but that wasn't a. Do you want to go
to
out
my
with me?
butt.
He did that in the last episode of season 2, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
No
he
points. Keep going.
Told her. Yeah.
You know, he gave her the paints.
Yeah.
David
Gave her the
declares.
paint. The new sex move all the kids are doing.
Just giving him the paint.
Giving her the paint.
David declares bankruptcy.
No.
Like things aren't going great for him, but no bankruptcy.
As far as we know, he still has money.
Gareth works with Don to come up with a gift. There wasn't any of that either. Wasn't much
gif?
of gift giving. A gift.
Like
It's a gif.
they're making gifts now
I say GIF.
in 2003. GIFs.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, wasn't your best week.
No.
Wasn't mine either. So I was saying that the show's like gonna be canceled, not fully ended, wrapped, and it definitely felt for me like it was wrapping.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it got canceled. I think they did their 2
specifically did
seasons.
a show like a
and
year
then they
later.
specifically did their like
Yeah.
movie length like Christmas episode essentially.
Right. Okay, then number 2, Tim and Don kiss under a mistletoe. Couldn't really see the ceiling in the shot, so I feel like it's inconclusive.
No,
0.25.
like at the end of that, I feel like there's like a big wide shot and like there was decorations on the ceiling, but no mistletoe.
Is it disco ball, mistletoe? It's like the British mistletoe, right? Disco ball. Number 3, David is Santa. Pretty
No.
bummed that he was not Santa.
I saw
Santas.
no Santa.
He like looked at a Santa, like
Oh, there was a
remember that? And I was like, is he gonna do it?
He looked at a Santa.
He looked at it. He glanced at a Santa when they left to go eat their meal without him, and yeah. Anyway,
Do you think that the printer that he looked at is a Santa?
no, there was a Santa sitting up in
Yeah.
like the coat rack or something. Maybe that was a thing that he did because there was a weird like stuffed guy on the coat rack in the first episode that he pointed to Ricky to and
Yeah.
just smiled at.
I remember that one. That was
and
fun.
it was awkward. Okay, number 4, Gareth injures someone as part of a prank. Not a prankster. Not a Dwight at all. Gareth was the worst.
yeah, he was the worst. I would enjoy watching him get pranked though.
Yeah, watching him. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of funny because I feel like all the other people in this episode, like the the David, the Tim, the Don, like they're all like all their American counterparts were built off of those very specifically. It was very good.
Yeah.
And like you can see that they definitely drew from that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dwight
Yeah.
like became his own
His
character
own thing, yeah.
and surpassed
Rainn Wilson
like
just kind of took off
and
with it.
definitely surpassed Gareth.
Yeah, like Gareth is not a beet farmer, and he doesn't have
Yeah.
like a Trans Am or whatever card Dwight has. And
Gareth's just like an emaciated nerd that works in an office.
Yeah. Dwight is like, he's got to be like one of the best characters of all time. Like sitcom characters.
yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
Thank
I would
you.
give that
1 point.
I give,
Congratulations on Dwight. You're just stating opinions, and if your opinion's good enough, we give you a point.
I'm really grasping at straws here, guys. Season 3 is not my season.
we're gonna give you Rainn Wilson. We're gonna give you a honorary first and last in the middle of the season for best sitcom character ever. Way to go, bud!
All right.
You did great. Maybe we'll tweet this at you next week. Probably not.
We'll just tweet it at Bryan Cranston and have him tell you.
Brian, let Rainn Wilson know.
At Brian Cranston, could you
Where he
let
can come
at Rainn
pick up his-
Wilson that he needs to come to Minnesota and
Rainn
pick
Wilson,
up his
you
first
want a
and
first and
last
last seat. Brian Cranston has it.
We've been also, if you could give us Brian Cranston's home address so we could deliver your first and last to him, that'd be
very
great.
helpful.
That'd be helpful. Cool. Who's watching this then? Jimmy, you sound like you're watching it.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm into it. I've wanted to watch it for a while, and especially now knowing that it's only 2 seasons and a couple Christmas eps. That's easily done.
Yeah. I
After
feel like
the first episode, I wasn't totally sold, but
Sure.
I'm back in.
I feel like now that I've gone like this long without watching The British Office, I'm just like, this probably won't ever.
You know what it is. After.
Like at this, like right at this moment, I'm just kind of like, hey man, maybe I should go watch some of those later Office seasons and see what I missed.
You're just still more interested in.
Yeah, and watching more of the American Office.
My wife and I are like right in the middle of the Office right now, somewhere.
I just I like that's like the Office is one of my go-to shows in regular life when it's just like I'm gonna go to sleep but I still want something on, so I'll turn it on and then just immediately turn away from the TV and fall asleep
Yeah,
and just
I
like
can't do
listen
that.
to it. I
Can't
can
do that.
I can.
I have to. I'm just.
You have to watch. Or
I
you
have to
mean, like,
watch, and
Yeah.
then I have to turn it off. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep watching it.
stay
I mean,
up all night.
I'll do that with The Office, and with Arrested Development, mostly Arrested Development, where I will do like turn Arrested Development on my nightstand, and I will turn the screen off on my laptop. So literally, it's black, so there's no light
Just
in the
the
room,
audio.
and it's only the audio. I'm like listening to an audio book, but it's just an episode
Just
of
let
Arrested
Jason
Development.
Bateman just soothe you to sleep,
He's a soother. He's a soothy man.
and Ron Howard.
That's right. At Bryan Cranston, let those 2 dudes know we like them. Thanks, man. Hey, everybody. Thank you for once again listening to another episode of First and Last. We appreciate you. Hey, tune in next week while we watch another show.
While we do more stuff.
We do more shows. That's what we do every week. We watch one show.
Yeah.
64 episodes in. You should know this by now. Pay attention, listener. Gosh. All right. Hey, thanks for listening. See you next week. Bye.
You weren't supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Is that what you...
It's Michael Caine.
Is that a Batman?
I don't know what movie that's from.
Isn't Michael Caine in that Hugh Jackman magic movie? Did I forget? I get
Yeah.
it confused
The,
with
with the other magic movie?
The Prestige.
The Prestige.
I fucking love The Prestige.